Hello, my name is Wadia AIT HAMZA and thank you for inviting me to be with you today. The world has witnessed unprecedented times. As you know, with the COVID-19, the whole world is changing and it's affecting everything at every level. We've seen changes in our societies, we've seen changes in our economies, changes in the way we are working, the way we are even behaving. And unfortunately, this is not going to be the end. The COVID-19 is a first of a series that will be affecting global economies moving forward. The pandemic, yes, true, came with health challenges to so many countries, but it mostly affected the global economies and how governments and companies are working in every day. We will see big shifts and big new trends in how we traded, in how we've been manufacturing, and how we've been selling all the goods throughout the whole world. The changes today are affecting mostly the Western Hemisphere. We've seen how China was successful in dealing with the pandemic and being successful in redressing its GDP. We've seen a big plump in Europe and in North America of the GDP, and unfortunately this is a really bad sign, as it will be the beginning of a big recession. The whole world just went through the 2008 financial economy, but this one I think will be even more serious than the first one. Today, the ILO says that more than 300 million people lost their jobs. And the trend is going, as we are seeing many airline companies laying off their workers. Many factories cannot deal with the health measures. So they are affecting their supply chains and also how they've been working in the last years. The biggest trend that we will see in how we work will be coming on the notion of traveling and business travel, and also the home office. The city where I live, Geneva, for example, every employee costs between $5,000 and $20,000 US for every desk that the company supplies. So if you are a company of 100 employees, you can make the calculations and see how the budget is really a big one. So we will see different changes in how we are working, in how the market will be getting ready for this new recession. But also we need to think now more than ever on how we're going to be able to go back to the new normal. And that normal, of course, cannot stay as it is today. We need a great reset. We need to reset our systems. As we've seen, they are not working. Many people are left behind. Many governments discovered that a lot of franges of the population are either not paying taxes or cannot have an end of month that is sufficient. So we need to think of a new global economy and also of a governance system to help us go through a new reset in education, a new reset in the health sector, a new reset in the tax system, being it at the national level, regional or local levels. So there is a lot of work that we need to focus on moving forward. And this pandemic came to remind us that we're not the superpower that we thought we are in planet Earth. There are a lot of other things that we need to take into consideration, and one of them is the planet. And protecting our nature is very important. And if the pandemic came now, it's also a red alarm for us to protect nature, and whatever great reset that we are doing, it needs to take into consideration how we are protecting the environment. The new systems will need to focus on protecting the environment, because experts say we have only 12 years left to do what we can do to protect nature, or then we cannot do anything, and the warming up of the climate will be going up, sea rising, many cities will be will be affected, and that can have more harm than we think, and more harm than the actual pandemic. And also, as the lines are blurring, unfortunately, this will not be the last pandemic that the human being will see. We've seen that throughout the 18th century, 19th century, many countries were affected by the pandemic, but this one is a reminder in this new world, with the technology that we have, with the level of globalization and development, that we thought it's a standards that will make us the superpower of Earth, but a small virus, tiny virus, came to remind us that we're not that superpower. So there is a lot of work coming up. We count on all of you to be involved. We need to come together in order to do it, because no nation or no organization can do it alone.